Hello.
Hello. Freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters, bring it on. Absolutely.
Let us know if you're watching us live or you're watching the replay. Just #live would be fantastic. Then we know you're there.
Fantastic. So, guys, welcome to our weekly Live and Loud. Here we are. So let's talk about our big topic for tonight. It's always good to have a little freshen up each week.
Fantastic.
Stacey, fire away.
The one thing that will make you a better investor. So what is it?
The better investor
vision.
Okay, let's get it in. Let's get our little bit of interaction tonight, because we don't want to be just standing up here in our little soapboxes. So most importantly is let's go through the topic again. The one thing
that'll make you a better investor. The one thing. What is it? Okay, so honestly, joining this group. Okay, we'll go.
Okay, so look, it's really easy. We've just put this through because this is really easy. Honestly, joining a group was a mistake. I feel like I'm getting constantly slammed. Well, it's really simple. Turn us off.
You don't have to.
Like, seriously, we don't have a gun to your head. Like, absolutely. Like, please, whoever that person is, it says Facebook user. Can you please delete yourself out? We've got about 5,000-6,000 other members who are keen to be here. If you don't want to be here, off you go. That's really simple.
Exactly.
To your heads, kids. Absolutely.
So if you want to be successful in life, in investing, in your personal life, in your professional life, or in your business or anything else, life is going to throw you challenges. And yeah, it's going to throw you challenges, and investing is certainly one of them. So that comes down to mental toughness, and that's what separates the elite from the average performers.
Absolutely. You got to choose your hard, guys.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. Choose your hard in life. And look, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's not easy. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So we all reach that point where it becomes tough. There's going to be tough moments. They come up all the time. Personal situations all the time.
And look, you look at someone like George. Don't you think that he's had times where it was tough?
Absolutely.
That's the two doors. Go through and work it out, or give up.
Yeah.
What are you guaranteed when you give up?
Yeah. First of all, what is mental toughness?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I see it's a measure. So it's a measure of someone's resilience and their confidence. And it's something. Is it something you're born with? No, it's not something you're born with. You know, so it's actually a choice, or even more than that, it's a discipline, and it's also a true indicator of success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of little keyboard warriors coming through at the moment. One of them said, no mental toughness could prepare you for George's tags. Delete yourself. You don't have to be here. You know, absolutely. Like, honestly, what was it? Distracted. You're deleting comments. You're both duds. Come on, not deleting anything. Absolutely. So, guys, let's go back. Are you able to just scroll back? Because one of our questions was, what did we reach out to the group and ask? What was the one thing that will make you a better investor?
Yeah, so someone's put here a fantastic team of experts.
Are you able to pop them up?
Absolutely. Look, I'll pop them up one at a time. So here we go.
Let's do this. Absolutely. Having George as a coach. Yay.
Having George as a coach.
Absolutely. And I can definitely tell you, having someone like George, he's been through it. He's done it. He's got the runs on the board. He's got real life results. Another one, knowledge.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And guys, this is not just about property. This is not just about investing. It's, you know, it's regard to anything, but obviously it really helps with the investing side of things. Let's keep going. Let's roll these out, Stacey. I love your work.
Absolutely. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to try and find the ones that Tony, great. Love you, Tony. Everyone welcome. Okay.
Fantastic.
What are we working towards? It's a muscle. Yeah. You can build your muscles up. Exactly. It's the same with your brain. It's the same with your accounts. It's the same with everything. I'm going to actually run through some of the traits that someone has when they have that mental toughness or that side of things. And the 4 C's. What are the 4 C's? You've got control, commitment, challenge, and confidence.
Yay!
So let's talk about
I
confidence.
can think of another C word, but anyway.
Yeah, there's a few of them around.
That's it, absolutely.
Let's talk confidence. So do you believe in yourself and your own abilities? That's what it's about at the end of the day. Can you navigate challenges? People here believe they can, and in this realm believe they can succeed in this area. And it's not about the obstacles they encounter. They work hard to develop themselves further. So they're happy to work in competitive environments, and they're really proactive. So prepared to step outside that sphere and believe that you can do it. That's one of the really big traits.
Look, it also comes out, you've got to really break the pattern of, some coming out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's the way you're really going to build your muscle and build, and that understanding as well. And the great thing about it is when you do that, you'll actually sit back and go, hey, that wasn't actually too bad. And then you think, well, okay, this is how you develop as a human being. It's those moments where you really come out of your comfort zone. And we've all been there. It's when those feelings, when you're not feeling quite right and you just go, right, I've got to get out there and do it. And you get sometimes no choice and then go, shit, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. So with interest rates just absolutely skyrocketing and everything else, how is it possible to be able to afford investing in property? So that comes down to the next C there, that challenge, right? Yeah. So let's talk a bit about that. So this is whether you can thrive in this environment that is constantly changing and you're prepared to grow. So you are going to have those challenges come up against you, like the interest rates currently. So how can you invest now?
Yeah, guys, someone just obviously said with interest rates absolutely skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we'll go back 15, 17 years. I can definitely tell you interest rates were 17.8%.
And so wages were a lot lower. Yes, property prices were higher, but wages were lower too.
So it's all relative. You can't get too fixated on interest rates. What you've got to do is have the plan, the structure, the right property, and the cash flow.
And know your numbers before you step in there. Because if you know ahead of time that this property is going to cost you, if the interest rates go up another 3 times, this property is going to cost you out of pocket $100 a week. Can you afford it? This comes down to only buy what you can afford. If you cannot afford to spare $100 a week, you probably shouldn't be buying that property.
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole idea is it's not about, let's look at the last 90 years of cycles. Interest rates have gone up, they've gone down, they've gone up, they've gone down. Is that going to stop you from buying property? Are you going to sit there and wait for them to go down? Because guess what? They're just going to go up. So you've got to get back to having the right plan and the right strategy, the right people around you, and also having that cash flow as well. Yeah. Someone just wrote as well, you might want to just say,
which one are we looking at?
If you can't afford to invest, I can't afford to invest now, just prepare yourself for when the plateau.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always going to be time that you can jump in. That's perfect.
But there's nothing wrong with getting yourself ready for that as well and getting yourself educated. And that comes back to obviously the C's.
The challenge. Yeah. And some people don't like change, and being open to that constant change and that power to influence the outcome, then lo and behold, you've got control.
Absolutely. And what you've got to do is look at the holding costs as well. Someone's just written here, sometimes it could be the cost of a couple of coffees a day.
Yeah.
So again, choose what's important, getting those coffees or getting a property.
Yeah.
That might cost you, but you might have to sacrifice a little bit of something on the side.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the next C there, Belinda, is control. So feel like that you're the pilot and not the passenger being dragged along. So people with a strong sense of control are better at regulating their emotions. So if you think that you've got the power to influence the outcome, lo and behold, you've got control. So that's the control side of things. You want to be able to be in control of your own situation.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think also, it comes back with that side of it. It's also being really clear and getting your education right, because that's what's going to keep you in check.
Yeah.
You can sit there and think what's right or wrong, and you can get bogged down for hours, but it's actually going out and getting the right answers. One thing about George I can definitely say is when he thinks of a strategy and a system, he doesn't just sit there and think, yep, that'll do. He'll go out and speak to every professional he knows, his accountant, his finance manager, his broker, his everyone involved, to see all the different aspects so he can still come back and make the right decision on what he's been given.
Yeah.
And that's really, getting back to that control.
And we've got commitment. So it's being committed, and I know a lot about this one. So being committed to achieve the outcomes and working consistently towards that. So that's grit. I used to go on about this all the time, sticking to it and stepping it out even when it gets really, really tough. If you go in, for instance, in terms of property investing, and you got your mind set on this property and you're setting up and you're going to get this property, and then something happens, all of a sudden you cannot get that property, aim for the next property. So what? That was an investment. You don't need that property. There are other properties out there. If something happens in your own personal situation, that means you got to wait 6 months, you wait 6 months and you do it.
Absolutely. I mean, guys, let's look from a different perspective. And Stacey, you'll be all over this. If you wanted a great body or a body like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
that's right.
And you went there and learned, and you went and got the right training, and you got Arnold to be your trainer, and then you were at the gym, but then you decided, the gym's a bit too hard. I don't like the way I sweat, or I don't like getting too hot.
The food.
Are you going to get the results?
No.
Absolutely not.
The biggest commitment in a diet is 4 days. 4 days is the average that someone will commit to a diet. You are not going to see that much results in 4 days. It is long-term, people. No. Same as property investing.
I mean, this get-rich-quick mentality, guys, it doesn't work. It's a slow and steady process, just like most good things.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'll bring this one up. This is awesome. So if you're not confident, you can change the outcome, and you do tend to give up when things get quiet. Would you say this program isn't for you? So if you're not confident, no, just I suppose you don't want to be in the give up mindset. You'll never go anywhere. You'll just be stuck in one spot. You're around the right people, then you'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. If your things will get quite hard, would you say this program isn't for you? Look, I suppose there's lots of different levels that you can do in regards to getting involved in this program. You don't have to get involved in this program and think you're going to have to buy a property tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even if you had money ready to go, you're not going to get a property straight away. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that comes down to having that right group around you as well.
Correct. Absolutely. And that comes back to it. So there is other levels. And guys, as a company, we obviously do coaching, we do mentoring, but we also offer some amazing programs online, some amazing do-it-yourself. Stacey,
yeah.
About 14-day challenge. We'll talk about that in the end, and maybe we'll put a little link up.
Yeah, actually there was a few more things I wanted to bring up. So how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Okay, I like that.
You like that one?
That's a good one.
And then we've got another one here. Okay, so how many properties do you have? Are they all houses?
So for me personally, I've got a mixture of houses and townhouses. So my idea is I try and stick away from kind of
high-rise buildings, units,
high-rises, apartments, units, even 1 to 2 bedroom. They're a no-go zone, really. For me.
We're looking more 3-4 bedroom, and yes, monorail houses as well.
Ideally, we want properties that are going to have that backyard, front yard, which is going to be the land component.
The land goes up in value, not the property itself.
Correct. You got to look for the dirt. And that talking about dirt gets back to being grit.
Yeah, that's it. Let's talk about some traits here of mental toughness. So what can you do to improve it? Because it's always, you can improve it. So emotional intelligence is one of them. So it's a flexible skill, and you can actually improve on emotional intelligence. And this is about understanding and dealing with all types of emotions, including strong negative emotions. So being able to deal with those moments that test your mental toughness.
Correct. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. And confidence, it's real confidence. It's not that fake it till you'll make it sort of thing, puff your chest out. It's real confidence is when when you're influencing other people and they're wanting to get behind you on this, that is real confidence because they're wanting to be part of it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
Another trait that people have with mental toughness is they do not have toxic people in their life. They do not have toxic people in their life.
Yeah.
So the ability to stand in another person's shoes and consider a difficult person's point. You know, they find a point of common ground and then they find a solution to the problem. But in terms of the toxic people, you're going to come across them, of course, and you're going to know how to deal with them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It comes down to that analogy of, making sure
with a grain of salt.
Yeah, you make sure your friends aren't poisoning your coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of arsenic each day, you won't notice it, but then at the end you realize that, they've really changed your beliefs on everything.
Yeah. Take it with a grain of salt and stay steadfast and don't let them bring you down.
Absolutely. Mr. Carpenter from Facebook, he said, how many properties, townhouses, land, they're very small. It's all about the return.
Yeah. It's the numbers. It's a numbers game. It doesn't matter about the size.
I don't really care too much. I care about the rent I'm getting. I'm talking about the growth yield in the area. I want to know if there's other rentals. There's a lot that goes into finding a property, whether it's a townhouse or a house, like a brand new home. But the reality is you've got to crunch the numbers. Yeah. And that comes.
I can go and buy a really large block of land.
You could go
buy a paddock out the road, but the reality is I'm not going to get as good a return as if I bought a 300 square meter in the middle of or near a CBD.
Correct. And that comes down to, Mr. Carpenter, regardless of the land, small, whatever, it comes down to the cash flow calculator.
Yeah.
Crunch the numbers. That's what it comes down to. And what does that come back to in our C's? Commitment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Commitment, control. Crunch the numbers and have total control so you know what you're doing before you do it. It's called calculated risk.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. We've got what are the advantages of starting my journey now, taking into consideration the interest rates? Thank you for sharing your knowledge. So if you're wanting to start with a higher interest rate, that depends on your personal circumstances. You might be able to jump in right now if you've got the deposit and you've got a high enough income.
How do you know if you don't know?
You don't know what you don't know. So you need to ask the question and you need to put your numbers in, basically.
Realistically, you start your journey, your first investment should be yourself and being educated and working out a plan of action.
How do you start now? Do our 14-day challenge. We'll talk about that at the end. But
we'll talk about that at the end of how you can do it yourself. But someone's just written, but you always talk about the value of the land. No,
exactly. So the land goes up in value, yes, but that doesn't mean it has to be huge or big. No,
it doesn't.
It has to have land.
Exactly right. It just has to have a small backyard and front yard, because that's when you're talking about, we've got a rental crisis. We're talking about making sure you've got that kind of backyard, front yard, not high rises, because you don't have the land component. Doesn't matter about the land component. Is it there or isn't? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So you could go and buy a large block of land, but not necessarily get the same return. So that's really what you've got to look at.
Come to Melbourne. I'll show you a $1 million property, but then, you won't be able to afford it and you won't get the rents.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but it'll be, hey, plenty of land.
Yeah.
It's all about the return and what you get and whether it's sustainable for your personal situation. That's what it's all about. Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yay.
So there's some interesting.
We've now embedded some confidence into that one.
Yes.
So we've done our purpose. And with that said, I think we've kind of have a wrap. We've got to go live and loud with our members.
Oh, do we? That was quick.
Yes, we do. We have to go in.
But leaving on this note, there are some interesting commonalities between the rich and successful people here with those C's. And they quite often have those traits. One last thing I wanted to say for anyone interested in property investing, June 17th, 1:25 p.m., George's episode of Build to Buy across Channel 10 will be airing. So
Build to Buy, 5 episodes. So, make sure you tune into that. It is Channel 10, right?
Yep, it's Channel 10.
So just in case you didn't see him on Channel 7 on another program and Channel 9 on the Today Show, now he's covered 10. He's covering all his bases.
Yeah, we're just going through the channels.
Absolutely. Someone just wrote research. Couldn't agree more. Again, that all comes down to confidence and, helping with your control. Happy days. Someone wrote, you ladies rock. Love your guts.
Yeah.
Happy days. We like those comments. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so, I think that's it, guys. I think we can't take any more. We've got all these questions coming in, but hey, we've got to go. We've got a session now with our members.
Members session. We've got a little bit more involved in the members session. So if you guys want to get involved or anything, please touch base with us. Let us know if you want to come in and have a conversation. So we're happy to assess your situation and see where you're at.
There's two things. Absolutely. So let's make sure, number one, if you want to learn more, guys, there's always the 14-day challenge where you can start educating. If you want 14-day challenge and you want to do it yourself program, put in hashtag 14-day. 14 hashtag. Put it in. We'll send you the information. Do it yourself program. Get educated.
Actually, I'm helping you out through that program, so I'll be there guiding you through.
Our resident coach, who'll be in the background. She's there to help, support, answer questions. And all these lovely little other questions that people are asking specifics, go to our 14-day challenge. Happy days. Someone's already written in there. Perfect. We'll see you in the challenge. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next Thursday. Go Freedom Fighters. Have a rocking weekend.